Before we get started this afternoon, I want to give you a heads up. Please be sure to stick around until the end. I have a couple of pieces of news to share with you. So, get on with our talk for today. Bellamy Dryden is a writer and the facilitator of a writer's intention group that I attend online. This is part of an intention she offered us the last week. We intend to heal immediately and permanently some small moment from the past that no longer serves us. As a result, from this moment on, we are free to fully embrace our sacred duty as creators with unreserved joy. I had 2 chances last week to practice this piece, to heal immediately and permanently some small moment from the past that no longer serves us. Last Sunday, I woke up to an urgent email from a friend, and the following Tuesday, I woke up to a text from yet another person. Both of these messages brought challenging pieces of information that impact our lives, AC's and mine, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and economically. Both communications were dreadful, and the details don't matter. What matters is how I recalibrated the demanding feelings that were triggered in me. I managed to self-honor emotions that could be debilitating and have been so in the past. Both AC and I were processing not just the 2 pieces of news, but the feelings they invoked in us. I was aware of his anxiety and he of mine. And we could be supportive of each other, and we also had to honor that we each had to intentionally wade through our feelings alone. And then we could come back and triage our findings, which I knew would include some ideas on how we might move forward. I took time for myself to feel sick to my stomach, to panic, to despair, to beat myself up, which included a quick drop-in from my old standby, shame. Suffice it to say that I was visited by my shadow self. You know, those parts of us, personality traits, emotions, thoughts, that are difficult to accept. We keep those hidden. So yes, I went into a nosedive, crying, grieving, regretting all of it. The same old, different circumstances, same old feelings. What has been changing for me over time is that I did not plant myself there. One of the great results of self-honoring is realizing I have a choice. Sometimes more than one, sometimes many. All I have to do is uncover just one choice and my attitude begins to change. This first step, we all know, is the hardest to take, isn't it? Even though I am someone who has old feelings crop up, what has changed is I give them space, allowing these feelings some fresh air. In the sunlight, they blink, so unused to being in the open. And they fade a bit, especially since I'm giving them permission to be in the sun. By giving my feelings permission, I have learned I can also set a boundary, like a time limit. For instance, 24 hours. And by then, I was ready to take Sadie for a walk. I wanted to move my body. Instead of my shadow self getting fresh air, I got fresh air. And with that came some ideas, some choices. I love Audrey Hepburn. She never said impossible. She always interpreted those 10 letters as I'm possible. She, I believe, was a woman who learned about choices in her life. And today I am living an inner life that is rich with possibilities, personal growth, curiosity, choices, the ability to laugh at myself and to ask forgiveness rather than permission. I honor myself. I recognize the significance, the importance, the validity, and the sacredness of my own values, thoughts, beliefs, and desires. A huge part of this is that I can honor myself without anyone else honoring me. What a gift that is. For me, the word honor has always felt ancient, esteemed, and venerable. I think of the samurai, the ancient Japanese military nobility. They were greatly esteemed for their unflinching loyalty to the daimyo, their feudal landholders. They cultivated Bushido, the way of the warrior, in upholding honorable moral codes, attitudes, behaviors, and lifestyle. I was in my late teens when the first time I read Sense and Sensibility. I absolutely fell in love with the way Eleanor Dashwood so keenly described her feelings for Edward Ferrars. I do not attempt to deny, she said, that I think very highly of him, that I greatly esteem, that I like him. Right now, last Sunday morning's email setback has been resolved. Both AC and I reached out to our wonderful network of friends and support who brought us suggestions, listened to us without question or judgment, who propped us up and loved us. I'm so grateful for them. I love the idea of asking one person whom I know, who asks someone else who I don't know, who contacts me and says yes. Our Tuesday morning text challenge is more uncertain and more complex. This one will take some time to come to fruition. I am grateful for choices like moving forward rather than giving up on a goal, a desire, a want rather than a need. Once again, slowly, 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 I feel change in my attitude towards the challenges life brings me. Marjorie Williams met Francesco Bianco, an Italian living in London who was employed as the manager of a book department. They were married in 1904 and had 2 children. Marjorie always claimed that hearts acquire greater humanity through pain and adversity. She wrote that life is a process of constant change. There are departures for some and arrivals for others, and the process allows us to grow and persevere. The Velveteen Rabbit, or How Toys Become Real, was Marjorie's first American work, which she wrote in 1922, and it remains her most famous. This is part of a conversation between Skin Horse and the Velveteen Rabbit that I really love. "Does it hurt?" asked Rabbit. "Sometimes," said Skin Horse, for he was always truthful. "When you are real, you don't mind being hurt." "Does it happen all at once, like being wound up?" he asked, or bit by bit? "It doesn't happen all at once," said the Skin Horse. "You become. It takes a long time. That's why it doesn't happen often to people who break easily, or have sharp edges, or who have to be carefully kept. Generally, by the time you are real, most of your hair has been loved off, and your eyes drop out, and you get loose in the joints and very shabby. But these things don't matter at all, because once you are real, you can't be ugly, except to people who don't understand." Marjorie Williams Bianco, The Velveteen Rabbit. I am grateful I am someone who doesn't break easily or have sharp edges, or someone who has to be carefully kept. I am grateful for the challenges, the lessons in my life. I am grateful for my curiosity, which implores me to ask, reach out, research, and accept. I am grateful for self-honoring. Thank you, friends and readers. I do appreciate your company as I consider where I've been and who I am becoming with each new day. Now there's some news to share. First, some exciting developments from our beloved Walkerville community. The long-awaited, often delayed 8th novel of my Walkerville Desire series, titled Reflection, is making its way through the publish and production process. Diogo, the amazing artist in Portugal who has designed the series covers from the very beginning, has a general concept we'd like him to reflect on, along with some photos to help guide and inspire him. We expect to see some book cover ideas from him early next month, and once he has our feedback, he usually nails down the final concept on the first or second try, and then he can quickly bring in the finished product. So expect us to be ready to share our first look at the cover in the next few weeks. When I know more, you'll know more. Also, it's less than 2 weeks until now that AC and I take off on an adventure 4 years in the planning. We will be flying out of San Francisco to Edinburgh to begin a full 8-week holiday in Scotland, Ireland, both the North and the Republic, and England. While on our journey, those Wednesday chats from the writer's room will continue, but due to time zones, internet unpredictability, and such, I won't be doing them live. I'm pre-recording a lot of material, and AC is going to the archives to edit and repackage some of our best efforts for encore presentations, sort of like he did when I was recovering from my surgery. So after next Wednesday until late October, I won't be here, but I'll be here. Do stick around though. There's plenty to talk about. Once more, thanks for taking the time and effort to join me here. And as always, I am interested in your thoughts and experiences. You can leave a comment here or send me a private message on Instagram or Facebook. And let me remind you of some of the simple ways you can support my efforts. If you can give this video a thumbs up, that would be great. And clicking that red subscribe button really helps you stay in touch while it helps us build our credibility with YouTube, which counts everything. Of course, we're very much hoping to meet more new readers. The address of my Amazon page is in the description below. All the Walkerville books are available there, both in Kindle and print editions. And whether you've been with me from the very beginning, or as somebody who's recently recommended by my writing, I'll bet you have a friend who would like my work. Won't you share this link with them? And consider taking a few minutes to drop a review on Amazon and rate my books. And thank you for that in advance. And finally, the direct link for next Wednesday's live chat is down in the description as well. Hope to see you then, and thank you again for joining me today.